Namaste, Srilata.
Namaste.
Namaste, Akka.
Namaste, Kumar.
Namaste.
Namaste.
It's already 6 o'clock. So let's start with the 3 ohms. You know the sankalpa for each ohm. The first ohm, the sankalpa, is to transcend this physical body. Second ohm is to transcend this entire universe, that is to transcend all the material attachments. And the third ohm is to merge the unmanifest divine. So take a deep breath. Prabhatam, Namaste, Namo Namaha, depending on where you are. So, we are only 4 today. Okay. Anyway, let's get going. So, in the first 4 sutras, Patanjali Muni has given a nice executive summary about what is yoga. He says yoga is the control of the chitta vrittis, of the thoughts. And when you are in yoga, then you realize your true reality. That is, you are an observer and you are able to observe everything, which means basically being able to observe all the chitta vrittis. That's what when you are in yoga. And the chitta vrittis slowly calm down. When you are not in yoga, then you identify yourself with the chitta vrittis, and which means you are identifying yourself with the chitta vrittis, meaning you are into all the activations and the reactions of the chitta vrittis. So that's what he says in the first 4 sutras. And that forms the executive summary. And then he goes on to explain a little bit more, because he says yoga is control of chitta vrittis. The next few sutras, he is talking about the chitta vrittis, what chitta vrittis are, the 5 types of chitta vrittis: pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, and smriti. So those 5 Chittavrittis. We have seen enough of that. So the Pramana, Viparya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smriti. So those 5 he explains what they are. So we have seen that Pramana is the evidence-based thinking. Viparya is that misconception or false knowledge, false understanding. Vikalpa is the delusion. Nidra is sleep, and Smriti is memories. So after speaking about all these various types of chittavrittis, he goes on to talk about how one can quieten the chittavrittis. So in a very brief way, because we are still in the summary part. So he says with the vairagyabhyam, with the sense of detachment, you can control the chittavrittis. And when that abhyasa, the vairagya abhyam, when that sense of detachment becomes part of you and it becomes an abhyasa, and that abhyasa becomes stabilized, then we are truly in that state. And that state, what it can do, it can lead you to a level where with constant questioning, pondering, that is what you're saying, vitarka vichara, ananda asmita, anugamat samprajnata. So questioning, pondering, letting go, and with that sense of being able to experiencing is the sense of being able to being in that state of an observer. So you can get all the wisdom that is out there in the 4th dimension. So samprajnata state is what we are talking about, that highly intuitive state, the final stage of samadhi. Then in the next 3 sutras is describing before getting to the samprajnata state, what are all the few other states that you may have. So that's what he describes in Sutra 18, 19, and 20. So with Sutra 20, the first section gets over. And then we march on to the second section, starting with Sutra 21. Here, since he has talked about abhyasa and all that, now he comes back saying with tivra, very intense abhyasa, your experiences are going to happen. And depending on the intensity, whether it is light, a medium, or very high, the experience are going to happen based on that. The speed at which the experience are going to come to you are going to be based on the intensity of effort. So this is where we stopped last week, pretty much. I mean, we covered one more sutra. So if it is difficult for us to stay in this kind of abhyasa, looking at chittavrittis, being an observer all the time, and not reacting to the chittavrittis, he says there is another way of doing the same thing. And that he says, Ishvara Pranidhanatva, meaning surrender to the divine. Ishvara is the divine, unmanifest divine. Complete surrender to the divine. That's where we stopped last week. So we will move on to from Sutra 123. We will now see Sutra 124, where he is going to describe who this Ishvara is. Right? He said you can, by surrendering to Ishvara, you can get the same state. You can get to the state of samadhi. That's what he says, right? Or he says, Ishvara Pranidhanat dhanatva. So why is or by surrender to the unmanifest divine. So he now has to describe who that unmanifest divine is. So he says, Klesha karma, vipaka, ashaihi, aparamrishtaha, purushaha, visheshaha, ishvara. So we'll see one word at a time. So let's take the last part. Purushaha, visheshaha, ishvara. So he's saying this Ishvara is that Vishesha Purushaha. It's not normal Purushaha. It's not a normal person or normal entity. Vishesha Purushaha. Very special. And why is that Purusha special? Why is that entity special? That he's explaining in the first part. Klesha Karma. Klesha means impurities. We have not yet seen them. We will see in the next chapter the impurities in us. Karma, we have seen enough karmas, enough about karma. So klesha karma vipaka. Vipaka is fruitioning of the karmas. So klesha is that impurities. Part of that impurity is the chitta vrittis that we have seen, right? And then karma, vipaka, fruitioning of klesha and karma. So, and then he says, klesha karma vipaka ashaihi aparamrishtaha. So ashaihi is something as ashaihi means resting upon. Aparamrishtaha means untouched by. So this klesha karma, fruitioning of the klesha karma, he is untouched by this fruitioning of klesha and karma. So in our case, let me stop this share and show you. We'll go back to okay, let's see this here. Let me share this to you. Yeah. Okay. So, in the very first birth, we are looking at those coming to zone B. This is Prakriti zone. So, the various chittas are launched. When the very first time that we are launched, each one is a chitta, right? B2, 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 it is marked in the gray. Those are all individual chittas. It could be my chitta. The very first time that I come, that I am created, that chitta, my chitta is created, it has got only klesha. There is no karma. When the first time each chitta is created, even today there may be a chitta that is being created. Maybe hundreds of chittas are being created. We don't know. The first time when it is created only with klesha, only with impurities. Why? Because Prakriti has that klesha. Why Prakriti has that klesha? Because unmanifest divine launched Prakriti with that klesha. Not that unmanifest divine has that klesha. Unmanifest divine does not have that klesha. But he launched Prakriti with that klesha because otherwise the universe cannot function. If you are already highly enlightened, you won't do anything. You will only be chanting Om. The universe has to run, right? Everyone has to have desires. Everyone has to be reactive. because of their klesha. So only then the universe will run, only then development will take place. That is why that klesha was given to Prakriti, the divine god mother or Shakti, as we call. Shiva Shakti. Shiva means absolute silence. Nothing is happening. That's why we say, right? In Tamil we say, "Kuazhandai Sivane irukku." We say, "Kuazhandai Sivane irukku," we say. Means the child is quiet, unmoved, it's just doing its job. So that's why we say, that's why Shiva is complete silence. Shakti, on the other hand, is all these materialistic things. But both are needed. That's why Shakti or Prakriti has the kleshas. So since Prakriti has kleshas, every chitta has that klesha. We'll see those 5 kleshas in the next chapter. So we only have kleshas, we don't have karma. But because of the klesha causes chitta vrittis. And the chitta vrittis, in turn, when we identify ourselves with the chitta vrittis, there are reactions that take place, and those cause, and since we are identifying with the chitta vrittis and the reactions, we get karma. That is how the karma starts building. With me? You understand? You understand how the karma starts in us? In the first birth, we are all nice, clean slate, no karma, zero karma. But because of the klesha is making chitta vrittis happen, and because of the chitta vrittis, reactions happen, and we identify ourselves with the chitta vrittis. And that is how we develop karma. And that is why we have all this. Patanjali Yoga Sutra is basically to tell you, hey, observe the chitta vrittis, but don't identify yourself with the chitta vrittis. When you identify with yourself with the chitta vrittis, you're only going to get karma. And you're going to come back again and again and again. So that's what it means, that because of the kleshas, we get the karma, and because of the karma, we go upon death. The karma has to fruition, we come back again, and we are as part of the karmic consequence, as we are supposed to dissipate that karma, the karma with which we have come, we react to more things, and we accumulate more karma. This is what is going on. If you look at Ishvara, he has no klesha, he has no karma. That's why he is marked separately in zone A. He has no klesha, so he is beyond klesha and karma. That is what this sutra is saying. Is this clear? I'm going to stop this share and bring back the sutras. So, तो क्लेश कर्म विपाक आशय अपरामृष्टः पुरुषः विशेषः ईश्वरः. That विशेष पुरुषः is Ishvara, and his characteristic is beyond the klesha karma cycle. He is unaffected by klesha karma cycle like us. That's what it is saying. With me? Shall we move on? So God, that is, Ishvara is the only one whom we call as God. The unmanifest divine is the only one we call as God. Please understand this. Whenever I say God in this class, I mean only that unmanifest divine. Not Muruga, not Kartikeya, not Vinayaka, none of that. Everybody who has taken a human form or any kind of form, they are limited. Please understand this. So God means the unmanifest divine, that Brahman. So this Ishvara, so what is he? What does he do? Tatra, so Sutra 125, Tatra nirastishyam sarvajnana tatra niratishyam sarvajnana tatva bijam. So the tatva, you can forget about that. Some texts have, some don't have. So we will only stick to the other 4 words. Tatra niratishyam sarvajnana sarvajnana sarvajna bijam. Bijam is the source. Bijam is the seed. In Sanskritam, bijam means seed. That's why we say bija mantra. I don't know if you have heard about this. The seed mantra, bija mantra, we'll say. Bija means seed. So, seed is the source, right? Only from the seed anything can sprout. So seed is the sprout. So sarvajna, the entire knowledge, the entire wisdom, so that entire wisdom, niratishyam. So niratishyam means in a very special way, unsurpassed, a very special way, source of knowledge. That Ishvara is the source. That's what it means. Tatra means there. Niratishyam. Sarvajna bijam. So that Ishvara is the source of that tremendous, special.
Kanji, Sarvajna means?
Sarvajna means special knowledge, wisdom. So you're working on a problem. You're struggling for 3 hours, 4 hours, then you go to bed, you sleep. Next morning, you have a solution. That solution came from there. And we wrongly think it is from our intelligence. We don't have any intelligence. We only have memory. Okay. Sarvajna means that source of that knowledge, the tremendous special knowledge. Okay. Move on to Sutra 26. So Patanjali Muni is describing who that Ishvara is, what are his characteristics one by one. So initially he said he's beyond karma klesha. Now he says he's the source of all knowledge. Then he says, Sa Esha, that person, Purvesham api guruhu kalena annavachedat. Annavachedat means unbroken by time. Annavachedat, the last word, means unbroken. Kalena means kala, time. Unbroken by time. What is unbroken by time? Let us see. Sa Eshaha, that person, Purvesham, for all those things that came before, is also Guru who is the Guru of all the Gurus who came before him. Not before him. That happened earlier. Purvesha means earlier. So all the Gurus. So basically he is saying that Ishvara is the Guru of all Gurus. All the people. Who are all the people? Hindus believe in the avatars, right? All the avatars, starting from number 1 up to Sri Krishna. And then they are saying Kalki is going to come, not yet come. So let's not worry about that. All the avatars that has taken place until now, and all the various gurus that you are, including Adi Shankara and so many other people, Ramanuja, so many other gurus, Sai Baba, all these gurus, they are not real gurus. The only guru is that Ishvara. All these other gurus are limited. So that is why you have to think here. Many people, when they pray, they will pray to Sri Krishna, Sri Rama, etc. These people are all limited. These are all limited. Please understand this. See, there is a area manager, and then there is the CEO of the company. Both are available to you, and you have a problem to resolve. Whom will you go to? Will you go to the highest and get it done right away, or you go to the area manager, because the area manager has to take the permission of the branch manager, and the branch manager has to take the regional manager, and then there's a assistant general manager, deputy general manager, director, and finally, right? So will you go to the CEO directly, or will you go to the area manager?
Area manager first.
No, if you're going to go to area manager, you're going to take 25 years. I'm saying both are there for you, directly available.
Oh, they're directly available, then directly to the CEO.
So both are sitting there. Will you speak to the CEO and get it resolved directly, or you will go to the AMA? You will go to the CEO, right?
We will go to the CEO, sir, but normally if it is a problem, a small one, then he will say, okay, he can take care of it. I have other big things to
If
take.
he says, did I say that? This CEO is ready to resolve all your problems, however small it is. Then why would you go to the area manager? This CEO is there to resolve all your issues, all your problems.
Because we have not.
It is our wrong understanding that we have to go to this area manager, because in a regular company there is a structure. So we are applying that structure here, which is incorrect. To start in the spiritual path, we have to start somewhere. So then we listen to some teacher, like I'm teaching Patanjali, so you're all listening. So I don't become a guru. You don't start praying to me. It makes no sense. Right? That is why from first day I'm saying I'm not a guru, I'm not a guru, I'm not a guru. And in fact, we had a discussion about this Shasta temple, Ayyappa temple calling me for a guru felicitation, and I refused to go. So this is the sutra. Why I refuse to go. All felicitations are only to that unmanifest divine, not to a human being. No. And not to any human, not anybody who has come in human form either. It is our foolishness we do that. With me? I'm giving you a very bitter medicine. I mean, Patanjali is giving you a very bitter medicine. I'm expanding it for you so that you understand. There is a CEO sitting right in front of you. There is an area manager with much less power sitting next to him, and both are accessible to you. And the CEO is saying, I'm accessible to you 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And a big or small or tiny problem, you can come to me. That's what he's saying. The area manager is also saying the same thing, but he's saying, once the problem becomes bigger, I have to go to somebody else. Right?
But
the area manager cannot resolve all your problems. right?
Yes.
And both are equally accessible. Both are equally accessible. Because the CEO, you can only hear his voice. You cannot see him in this case. Whereas area manager, you can see him as a murti, as a picture, everything is there. But the CEO is with unlimited powers and unlimited intelligence, unlimited wisdom. But you can only ask him and he will only speak. You cannot see him. In movies, they say, right? That boss, they'll say, right? Number one. That number one, they'll keep on saying all these villains. That number one, they will only be able to hear on the phone or on a video. There won't be any picture. It is the unmanifest divine is like that. You can only hear him, feel him. You cannot see him. Him or her, doesn't matter. We are calling him because Patanjali Muni defines that cosmic energy as Ishvara. With me, people, this is a very important sutra. It's a very, very important sutra. So,
Yes, Kumar. But to reach that unmanifested, to reach to that unmanifested divine, we have to train ourselves, or do we directly approach him?
that's what I said. He's sitting there and says, come to me, I will give you everything. What more do you want? Only thing is, you cannot see him, you only can hear him.
Yes.
Hear him meaning you are not going to hear him like the way I am speaking. He is going to hear you. Only you can hear what you need to hear. Srilata will hear only what she needs to hear. I will hear what I need to hear. I cannot hear what he is going to tell you. Right?
Yes.
So he is dealing one-on-one basis with the entire creation.
Okay. Oh, okay, Kumar. Okay.
Whether you want it or not, that connection is there. That connection is there. We are not using it. We are not using it, and we are going for cheap things, cheaper things. Where a pandit becomes a guru, right?
Yes.
In a temple or in a mutt or whatever, a pandit becomes a guru. Whatever he says becomes the rule. Because we don't have the wherewithal to connect to the divine and listen. Or to listen to the divine, the mind has to become silent, otherwise we cannot listen.
Yes.
Either the mind has to become silent, or in a very deep crisis. If actually in deep crisis, only the crisis that everything else falls silent. Everything becomes unimportant because that crisis is boiling. In that crisis, you can hear him because you're so focused at that time. Even then, in that crisis, people don't go to the unmanifest divine. They will run to every temple, drop money in the hundi, do all kinds of rituals, thinking that will solve their problem. No, it's not going to do that. Because when a problem comes, it is coming because of the karma. If you go to the divine will tell you it has come to you because of the karma. Nicely observe this and undergo this. We don't want to listen to that advice. With me?
Yes, Marji, I agree.
So normally they say parents are the high. I don't know. Maybe you will say no, but parents are more higher than any divine or anybody. Suppose my parents are there at home. Instead of praying to the God for 24 hours a day, if I neglect my parents, like not even giving the food, okay, they are senior citizens. So if they can do their things, but the condition is not in a position to do anything. So if I think about divine, okay, he will take care of them, means does it happens unless I help them?
First of all, Madhavi, nobody can be praying to the divine 24 hours.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Even the enlightened.
Mm.
What is the meaning of that? Meaning staying connected to the divine meaning. That is, you're doing things for your swadharma. What is right is so clearly known to you. You will only do the right things. Okay. Then next, coming to your parents. Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam, they will say in that order, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
You
sir.
have not heard that?
Yes, sir.
So, Mata, Pita are gurus when they are enlightened. Are you an enlightened person?
No.
No. Then how can you be the guru for your children? Same thing with your parents. Same thing with my parents.
But my parents don't have the facility of joining classes like this Patanjali.
This is unnecessary discussion. This is unnecessary discussion.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Not
Your parents had other opportunities. There were people who were teaching them coming home or in a mud. They didn't use it. My parents also didn't use it. So many parents didn't use it. It doesn't only have to come through Patanjali Yoga Sutra. It can come through other scriptures too. It can come through any Upanishad. It is we who have to put that effort.
Okay, sir.
So that is there any question on this unmanifest divine being the ultimate guru?
No, Kumarji.
Okay.
No question. And manifested divine is the ultimate.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
So that's what we saw in Sutra 26. 27. So actually, I'm going to read the notes before we move on to 27. He says, He, God, that Ishvara, is also the guru of those of the past. That's what we are saying, Purvesha. Purvesha means earlier people who came as gurus. He is the guru of all the gurus of the past, uninterrupted by time. So he says, God is the foremost and real guru who is unconditioned by time. See, in 1919 actually, I had some very difficult personal situation. Life gave me a slap on either side, either cheek. Terrible. So I didn't know where to go. I didn't know how to resolve it. Obviously, at the time I had a guru of 25 years to whom I have been very attached, from whom I learned a lot. So he could not, when I went to him, he gave a few pointers, he spoke to me and all that, but my problems did not get resolved. Nor could I come to any kind of understanding why it happened. So in 2020, it so happened that I was able to attend a class on Patanjali Yoga Sutra by Dr. Rajan Narayan, my teacher. This was the second time I was attending. I attended one in 2015 or 2016. I didn't absorb much at that time because I was under the influence of the other guru. So the truths here did not sink into me. I was raising questions like Madhavi. I was not open. And then in 2020, when this sutra came, it hit me. It hit me solid. And for the next 5 months or so, this happened in sometime in May, I think. For the next few months, I think this happened in April, May. Yeah, and for the next 3 months or so, I contemplated. Finally, in August, I walked away from my guru of 25 years. He was like my father. He was like my brother. He was my teacher. Very highly educated person. Yeah, he has a PhD in physics, in nuclear physics. He worked in Germany. And then he had this feeling that he should give up all that and plunge into spirituality. He just gave up everything. That kind of a person. With very high integrity. So it took me about 3 to 4 months or more. And I wrote at least 15 drafts, that I don't want to continue with you. I don't want to be part of this anymore. I wrote 15 drafts, one after the other. I will throw it. Say, hey, this is not. After 15 drafts, the final one I wrote, I started with about 20 pages or something like that, cut down. Finally, it came down to 1 page. I wrote so many, and finally, when I came down to 1 page, it seemed perfect. I sent it to him. But very nice of him, he just accepted. He just let me walk away from it. I have never looked back since then. No guru after that. No guru after that.
But Martis, you need some sort of guidance. You had guidance for so many years.
Because I was in terrible avidya. I was not prepared to do anything on my own. For every question, I will run to him. I was not willing to do any kind of research in the spiritual area. Technical area, I will do. Even today, I will do. Right? When it came to spiritual area, for every question, I'll run to him and ask him and take his opinion. His opinion need not be correct, 100% right, correct? He's a person. Who will wear the correct answer? 100%, 10% right all the time. Where can it come from? It can come only from that unmanifest divine, right?
But even I have certain doubts like this. I
Doubt.
did attend a school of thought. Okay. I did some practices. So somehow I wasn't not able to take certain things. So I just dropped from that school. I stopped practicing that. I now listen to my heart more than that. I do my prayers the way I like. Is it the right way or?
Of course. I mean, you have to listen to what is coming from inside. The inside is the guru. The guru is not external. External, you can, it's more like a debate. You can go and say, hey, this is how I feel about this. They may say something, you may say something. Then you come back, you ponder, and then you get that knowledge from above.
Okay. I feel.
So this, go ahead. You said something.
I should discuss. Whether I should discuss in this class or I should do it separately. I do not know. Can I talk some more or do it
Yeah,
on
you
some
can
other
say.
person?
See, normally these kinds of things, when it comes to the internal world, the key is we getting the information directly. It cannot come from a third person. It cannot come from the other. It has to come directly. Only then you can accept it. Otherwise, you cannot accept it.
Okay.
Even when it comes directly, sometimes you won't be able to accept it.
Mm.
And that is why we move away from this. I told you, by age of 7, we lose that connectivity because we are not able to accept it. Because when the supreme knowledge comes, it is against our stupid beliefs. We have so many conditions, convictions, beliefs. So it will be completely 180 degrees from our belief. So we may reject it. That is the supreme intelligence will reject it.
Okay.
So this is the supreme intelligence about Guru. It hit me. And it took me another 4 months to get away from, to implement it in my life. It may take 4 months, it may take 4 years, it may take 40 years, depending on the person. Fortunately, I had the grace. I could walk away. And now, from that day onwards, I said, I am my own Guru. There is no Guru for me. Yeah, I will discuss and all that. But then I will ponder, and then the realization will come on its own. So because we refuse to do that hard work, we get stuck.
Yes, Kumarji, but see, this text has to be taught, or this thought process has to be taught by somebody. So that somebody, we call them as a guru.
You call them as Guru, but understand that Guru is speaking, or whatever he is saying is coming from the ultimate Guru. Then why do you want to call this person as Guru? That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Have that understanding. If I am giving you some information, it is not Kumar is giving you that information. It is coming from above.
Yes, agreed.
Right? Have that deep understanding.
Okay.
However wonderful soul it might be, even for Adi Shankara, I'm saying, all that intelligence, all that Advaitic thoughts that he brought in came from above. It is not his intelligence.
Yes.
Understand that. Same thing with Ramanuja, the Visishta Advaita that he brought about. It is not his.
It is already there.
Yeah, it is already there and it came from above. And he then, because he was so passionate about it, he got that. And then he preached what he understood. There are 2 sutras at the very end, one on Visishta Advaita and one on Advaita. We'll see that at the very end.
Manji, I like listening. I like doing all this Tirupuzhar chanting and all. It is something that I love doing it. How do I relate here to this only Ishvara and all that, the God, unmanifested divine, and doing all this? Maybe this is the first step that I'm doing.
Any sloka is for the divine, right?
Yes.
Any sloka is for the divine. Even if somebody says this is to Saraswati, to Lakshmi, if you can take that and say this is all to the finally Saraswati and Lakshmi, from where did they appear? It all from came. So if you can redirect everything to that unmeant. So you have to reprogram yourself, basically. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
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 There is no need to stop anything. Just to reprogram that everything goes to him.
Okay. Yes.
See, the only prayer must be that please make me understand that I am undergoing karma.
Okay.
Not to resolve my problem, no, because we have to learn That is why that obstacle has come. Let me understand, let me go through this karma in full. Because only when you go through that karma in full without reacting, that karma will get dissipated. Otherwise, it is not going to get dissipated. It is going to be there. And upon death, this karma is still there. So you have to come back again. And not only that, by reacting, you have accumulated more karma also. When obstacles are there, understand, and the only prayer must be to the unmanifest end. Please give me that intelligence. Please give me that patience, understanding that this is the karma that I have to undergo, and not blame X and Y and Z, etc. This is what happened to me in 2019, 2020. The problem is still there. The problem has not gone. In 19 and 20, I was asking, why this to me? Why this to me? Why this person has brought this to me? Then it stopped. Once I understood Patanjali Yoga Sutra in 2020, it stopped. I understood. It's karma based. That person has no control over it. That person has been specifically put there. However intelligent that person is, may have many degrees, they will still react because karma is flowing through them so that I can finish off my karma.
Yes.
So every morning I wake up and pray to that person and their family that they should be well, they should be good. Let all their desires be satisfied. This is my prayer every day for them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It doesn't make me a Mahatma.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't make me a Mahatma. Please understand this.
Yes.
That person has no control. That person or persons have no control. See, recently, just a few days back, in Tamil Nadu, there is this electricity and customs and excise minister. He was arrested, right?
Yes.
I'm going back to Madhavi's question. He is also a father of children, right? And this person has been arrested because for corrupt reasons. How can he guide his children? Right? Does it make any sense? It does not. So when it says Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam, you must understand what it means. Not blindly think that, oh, I can leave everything else. If I fall at the feet of my parents, I'll get everything. You're going to get zero. Nothing you'll get. Yes. But that does not mean you should not fall at the feet of your parents. Please fall at their feet. Take their blessings. It makes them feel good, do it. Okay? Anyway, move on to 27. So we have seen enough about who is the Guru, who is the only Guru, who is the ultimate Guru. Tasya vachakaha pranavaha. So the pranava is that Om. So the divine communicates through that sound Om. That's what it's saying. Tasya vachakaha. Vachakaha means the word, the communication. Is pranava. Pranava comes from a few things. Anu means small, right? Anava. So it comes from pranava. So you split this into two words. Anava comes from anu. Anu means atom, the smallest particle. So the nature of the smallest particle, this smallest particle is the source of all vibrations in physics. See, I am talking, and I said about this also. My talk is converted to electrical signals, and finally it is being transmitted. How is this transmitted? It's transmitted through electromagnetic vibrations. What are those electromagnetic vibrations? The particles vibrate. The particles are tiny particles, very, very tiny particles. If there are no particles, it cannot travel. Okay? With me? So, this pra in front of pranava means prakrishta. Prakrishta. So, from the prakrishta, we are taking only the pra. Prakrishta means that which is in the core of everything. That which is there in everything, that which is in the core of everything. So basically we are saying pranava means that which is in the core of everything and which affects the smallest particle. So Ishvara communicates via the smallest particle. And if you think of it, the electromagnetic waves propagate by vibration of particles. Even sound for that matter, it can only travel with vibration of particles. And that is how the waves are created, and that is why how it propagates in the direction in which it is asked to propagate. So tasya vachakaha pranava. So the word or the communication or how Ishvara communicates with us, with the entire universe, is through that sound pranava, which is Om. Okay. Tat japaha tad artha bhavanam. We'll move on to Sutra 28. Tat japaha tad artha bhavanam. So, tat is that or this, that. Japaha, japam, the chanting that we do. So artha means meaning. So when you bhavanam, when you say bhavanam, it means how you absorb or understand. That is what is bhavanam. So what it's saying is tat japaha tad artha bhavanam. When you chant, when you japa, when you meditate, really meaning when you meditate on the pranava, on that sound pranava, you will understand the meaning of that sound. The meaning of that communication, you will understand. That's what it says. Meditation by vibrating on that mantra Om reveals its intended meaning. So that's why this Om chant is very Om meditation is very popular. It's because of this. Because that is how the divine propagates, communicates. I want to finish off 2-3 minutes. Tataha, is this understood? Is this sutra? It's all simple sutras. So we are still talking about the characteristic of Ishvara. Okay. Tataha pratyak chetana adhigamaha api antaraya abhavaha cha. So let's see this. Chetana. Tatah pratyak chetana. Chetana means we spoke about it during our pre-class. Chetana is that artificial intelligence, which lets you, if you are standing on the road, and suddenly a car is coming, you hear it, immediately take evasive action. You don't, nobody has to tell you. Immediately you take evasive action. You don't think about it, correct? Immediately you take evasive action. Whereas if you take a stone, if it is on the road and a car comes or a truck comes, does it move? It does not move, right? A stone or a piece of wood, or even if you put a gold bar on the street, just because it is a precious stone, it does not move, right? Yes or no?
Means living things will have Chaitanya that will tell us what to do.
Yeah.
Reflex action.
Yeah, that reflex action is what we are calling as Chetana. Chetana means artificial intelligence. That is something that quickly reprograms and lets you do what you need to do at that point. Even breathing, it's all involuntary unless we suddenly start doing, become aware of it. Until then, it is just involuntary, right? So these kinds of things where you do involuntary things happens because if you take a small plant and you prevent the sunlight from falling on it, it will bend and go towards the sunlight. We have done this experiment while in school because it needs sunlight. So that is artificial intelligence. That is Chetana, because it is a living thing. Non-living things don't have Chetana. So this is the meaning of Chetana. Tataha pratyak Chetana. Pratyaksha thought. That is, which is in front of us, pratyaksha. In front of us, pratyaksha. Pratyak means in us. So he's saying your Chetana. Pratyak Chetana means our Chetana, my Chetana, your Chetana, right? That's what it means. Pratyak Chetana is our Chetana. Adigamaha means knowledge, mastery. More than that, realized or attained. I would say attained. You attain. Antaraya, abhavaha, cha is also, not and here, also. So what does it do? What does adigamaha, I said, attained. You attain this, you are able to get in touch with the Chetana. Chetana is that consciousness. That connectivity to the divine comes from there. That is all the source of intelligence, all the source of knowledge. You get connected to that by how? By this tapas, by the Om, by being in that. That is what it is saying. So when antaraya, when all antaraya means obstacles, all obstacles are removed. All obstacles are removed, and you are able to connect with that divine, with that unmanifesting. So what it is saying is, from this Om, when you are in that chanting and fully focused in that Om, from that vibration, the innermost Chetana comes forth, and also obstacles are not present. Antaraya, those obstacles are all cleared out, so that you can fully connect with your inner consciousness and get connected to all the knowledge that's available. With me? With me, people?
Yes, sir.
So let's quickly summarize what we saw in Sutra 29 before I close. So we said Ishvara is the person who can take you to the state of cosmic connectivity and self-realization just by surrender to Ishvara. That's what we started with, right? We said Ishvara pranidhanatva by surrender to the divine. So by surrender to the divine, you can get to the samadhi state. Then he's defined who that Ishvara is. By nature, Ishvara is outside the fruitioning of klesha karma. He is outside klesha karma. Ishvara is the source of all supreme knowledge. Right? We saw that he is the bijam. Ishvara is the person who is the guru of everyone at all times, uninterrupted by time. The vibration, the communication of Ishvara is the pranava, is the om. Vibrating the pranava, we are able to understand its meaning. It is from there the ability for the chetana, for every chitta, right? We are all chittas, we all have chetana. So it is from there, it is from that vibration of that om, from that. The ability of the chetana for every chitta comes from there. And in that communication, there are no obstacles. Once the connectivity takes place, there are no obstacles. Only when the obstacles are removed, can the connectivity happen. The communication from God, when there is communication with God, God means that unmanifest divine, there can be no obstacles. So this is what we covered from Sutra 23 to 29. So next week we'll start with Sutra 130. So with this, we complete the second section. Second section, we started with Sutra 21. So with 29, we finished the second section. From Sutra 30 through Sutra 51, I think, will be the third section. So this chapter is divided into 3 sections. The first section was all introduction. Second section, we are seeing about who that Ishvara is. So these sutras, some 7 sutras, 23 to 29, is actually Bhakti Yoga. Okay. So Bhakti Yoga is nicely presented here by Patanjali. Any questions before we wind up?
No, sir.
Any others? Any questions?
Oh, great. Thank you.
Okay. So use that leave button on your screen so that the session ends that way. Okay. Thank you. Namaste. I'll see you all next week. Namaste.
Thank you, Kumar. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.